Yeah.
Well, it's top of the hour, folks. Anybody been turning anything?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's.
Unfortunately, I didn't get my turnings done to be able to show them because I was going to get one done today, but I got up with an awful headache and wasn't able to get in the shop.
Now I know how.
Uh-oh.
I
Well,
I'm
made
in
a
the
cake
process of
yesterday,
sanding
Ron.
a couple hundred segments, so
I
go
want to see
across
what
the
Al
pond and see
turned
what
today.
Mr. Wayne's got.
Okay, guys. I think there were quite a few, that I've got a good friend about 50 mile away from me, Dale, Maple Tree Studios, who has got a small amount of land. He's got about 78 acres, with quite a lot of trees, which he's had quite a lot cut down. Around about 18 months ago, he had a lot of beech cut down, and I got a whole load of it. And some of the branch work I left into longer pieces and just left outside just to see what
Right.
would. So I left this beech just sitting outside in long lengths, the branch work, and I decided last week just to cut some of it up and see what has happened with it, and this is what happened with it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It
Ooh,
I
is
great.
love
Oh,
spalted
wow.
beach.
it is really
oh,
really spalded. This
Yeah.
gorgeous.
piece it's three crotch pieces in there. There's a crotch piece here.
Yes.
There's a crotch piece there. There's another one here. Another one here, and I turned it tonight and on a live show, and I was undecided on what to do with it, on how to turn it. I wanted the wings left on. I knew that,
Yep.
but I couldn't decide on whether I was going to go down and then just go into the bowl and turn the bowl out in the bottom, or do what I've done, which is something I've done in the past, which is turn the wings down and then make a hollow
Right.
out of it. Um, the thing that I
With a
tried
great
to what
effect.
yeah what I tried to do with this type of bowl, and I think I've got the perfect shot there, is that I try to get the top curve
Continue.
on directly
Yeah.
into the bottom curve.
Yep.
And it looks like you succeeded, mate. That looks
Yep.
really good, Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did a good job
Now,
on that, Wayne.
really good man.
I
now
love it.
the spalting on the no, okay.
Right.
The reason that I was wanting to originally turn just a bowl out of it is that because I thought, as well as the spalting, with the crotch pieces and everything, there might be some nice feathering in there. But actually, there wasn't. Um, but the spalting on the top is a
Yeah.
hell of a lot
Gorgeous.
better than the spalting on the bottom.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
spalting took over the feather,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely.
but I love spalted beach anyway. That is just absolutely stunning.
Thank you very
Beautiful
much.
piece.
It's
Um, so I think I've only got another half a ton of this.
A ton, huh?
Send some across the pond, Wayne.
Right. Try me a
Thank you
river.
very much, guys. Cheers.
All right.
Nice
Thanks.
job,
Tell Dale
Wayne.
to
beautiful, Wayne.
tell
Beautiful.
Dale to send me some, Wayne.
Right. Thank you, sir. All right, Dewey, we got you
Hey,
now.
uh, coming up on the 4th of July, our club made a challenge to turn something that was patriotic. So I did. I come up with this.
Oh my
Wow.
life.
Wow.
Whoa,
That
that is
That is
gorgeous.
tremendous.
that is awesome.
That is huge.
That
Too
is
bad you had to
beautiful.
turn
Excellent.
something so small.
23 and a half inches. And
Uh,
it it's got the preamble to the, it's got part of the, everything's backwards on this president.
No, we can see it.
Oh,
No,
we can
no,
see
no.
it.
Oh, okay,
It's
It's
the right
not
way around.
backwards to
Yeah, it's
us.
got parts of the Declaration of Independence, and it's got
Yep.
the preamble to the
Yep.
Constitution. Got a quote by Mr. Lincoln, and got a quote by Mr. Patrick Henry on the side. And I think that would probably be patriotic enough. It's got the symbol of the Great Seal of the United States on it.
I like it. That's great, Dewey.
And I carved it in relief so that it kind of stands out.
That's
That
cool.
looks great.
And
Now,
then
I love it.
No, so Dewey, is that carved? I thought it was pyroed.
no, that's what I did was I engraved a pattern with the laser, and then I carved out the relief.
Oh, excellent.
Cool.
excellent. Yeah, beautiful.
And then
Gorgeous.
all of
Very
this
nice.
is laser engraved here. All of this,
That's beautiful.
and then
My laser ain't big enough to do that.
well, mine didn't either. I had to move it around some to get it to.
Oh,
I've only got like a 500 by, I think it's 500 by 400 bed on mine.
yeah, that's what mine is.
And
Yep.
this one wouldn't fit, so I had to do this type of stuff.
You had to do the shuffle.
Oh, the
Look
back
at
is
that.
too.
Jeez.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Anyway,
Wow.
I think that's the biggest thing I'm ever going to do, and I'm not going to. I learned something. You put this on the lathe, and you got a chuck, and you don't have the chuck set screwed, and you turn the lathe on, and you're going along. And say, "Well, I better stop." You turn the lathe off. This thing doesn't stop. It keeps going.
I've
Yeah.
been there. Yep.
Luckily, I had the tailstock up against it, so it didn't go flying off. So
That's
I
why
learned
you
that.
use that speed.
I've
why you
had
use the
big
speed
pieces do
control.
that too.
What's that?
Use that speed. Use the speed control and turn the dial down for the speed instead of a hard stop.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I just hit it. I just hit the stop button, and I should have. Yeah, I've done that. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, that's my
Fantastic.
contribution to the challenge
Awesome.
of this week's turning. So,
Wow.
Well,
Awesome.
if you don't win the challenge, you let us know who voted against you, and we're gonna have a talk to them.
but it's solid walnut. It's made out of. You can see a seam here, and then if you look, you
Yeah.
see a seam up
Right.
here. But anyway, it was fun trying to carve all this little detail, but I did it anyway. I got it done anyway. So
You did
Anyway.
a great job on that.
Great
That's
job.
Beautiful.
awesome.
thank you.
Damn, Dewey. Every week, you always impress.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you
Dude,
do, Dewey.
so inspiring.
That's pretty.
All right, let's go up north and see what Sheila's got.
Hey, Sheila.
Hi. So I have a little piece compared to that last one of Dewey's, but it's a little lidded box. Not
That's
quite
beautiful.
done yet. Haven't finished the bottom.
But it's pretty. I like the I
Very
like the
pretty.
finish and
Oh,
stuff.
that's nice.
It's good.
And it's
It's very
turquoise. I
nice.
got gold resin on the top part of it just to fill up the pot when it wasn't quite full.
Yeah.
But it's I think it's hickory is the wood in it, but it was interesting piece of punky stuff. It was
a good
kind
job
of
on it.
part of a hollow log, and by the time I got there to pick any up, that was all that was left was a strip of the hollow outside of it. And then when I cut into it for something else and found out it was kind of pretty, so I used some bits. So
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Very
Well done.
nice.
that's all I got done. I've got a giant one with resin and maple branches on the lathe right now that's going to take some time.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Is that it?
Very pretty.
that's all for now.
All righty. We look forward to seeing the next piece next week.
Okay.
All right. So we've had a little memorial thing going on for Nick Agar. And so here's my little contribution of a cross. I turned it off center for the post here. Real punky, sun degraded piece of maple. And so threw a little bit of dye on it, kind of made it look earthy, rugged,
Cool.
old, and whatnot. So
A
that's
little
my
more
contribution.
often, it'd look like a golf club head for wood.
Oh, down at the bottom. Down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay. Yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah, I can see that now. So it's got two coats of tung oil on it. Still got to get it shined up yet.
looks good, yo.
Another
Yep.
another three or four coats. My wife absolutely loves it. She's already claimed it. So that was my contribution for that. And then so keeping with that, since we just lost David Ellsworth, and David is known for doing miniatures and hollow forms. So I thought I would put out a challenge, or not a challenge, but if a person wants to do a memorial turning and in the likeness of David, to do something, no bigger than 3 inches by an inch and a half. Do a little miniature, be a hollow form or whatever. Look at some of the stuff that he's done in the past, and try to funnel his energy from the osmosis, and we'll do that for 2-3 weeks. Like we did for Nick, and see what we can come up with. See if we can get some good participation on this as well. We had a good outpouring for Nick, so why not do the same thing for David? So with that, let's move on to our next contestant, Mr. Al.
Hi, Al.
Anyway, I'll tell you, it was late getting in here today. First thing I said was I must be banned from the club. So I was like,
Well, wasn't the
no,
case.
I don't know. Anyways, I got a lot that I did and nothing really good to show. I got a little bit of carving, and well, maybe you could see it's a vase in a vase. If you could see that
Oh, there you
vase on
go.
this side there.
That is neat.
Hey.
And then pieces started breaking off. I should have used there's another one broke off. I should have used a 1/4 inch parting tool. I used an 1/8 here, and it just didn't show what I wanted to show on the inside.
Is that wet
Then-
wood, Al? Was
Yeah,
it wet?
it's probably maybe 6-7 months, I'd say.
Right. With
Is
with
there
that
a-
type of what I've got to say is
Oh,
with
this
that
is
type,
wrap repair. Wrap repair.
yeah, with that type of thing, if you do it out of freshly cut wood, it warps really, really well and produces some very nice figure when you do that type of thing with really wet wood.
I'll try that. I think I have.
There's a guy in the UK from the southwest of England, Melvin Firmager, who used to do a hell of a lot of that type of stuff, and he used to done the really, really thin scales, if you like to call them, and they actually, from wet wood, they look absolutely beautiful because the wood warps all over the place.
NESC is always beautiful. It's just I can't make it beautiful. There's some pretty ideas out there for sure. Then I was into that, and I showed this piece a while back. It's a double chalice, and it broke. It broke right here. So I was really never able to finish it. But I just kept looking at it. I said, let me try to do something with colors. So, I mean, I sanded it back and I put black dye on it. I sanded it back, I put green dye on it. I sanded it back, I put yellow dye on it, and it looks like it's black. So I'm going to just take it all back off. This here, I had red. Then I said, well, since I'm going to put yellow on the rest of this, let me put yellow on here and see if it'll orange it up. But it didn't do that very well either. But that was another thing, playing around. I'll learn someday. I just, well, no, what's the reason to use the black? The black is just a back set, or did I not back it? Did I not sand it down enough?
You
Is
didn't
that
sand it back enough.
Probably didn't sand it back enough.
Then my grandson likes a back scratcher that I made, so I made one for him. And here I set it down over where the die was. So
Uh-huh. So you got a little
that's
bit
the
of
way my
degree
week
dye.
was. That was the way my week was. But I'm gonna
That's
give it to him tomorrow. He hasn't seen it yet, so he's gonna go have a
Al,
lot of
I'll
fun.
have to say you like to try different things. You do a good job of trying different things.
I don't see any reason to make just a bowl. I mean, I've made plenty, and there's so many things out there that they just challenge. It's in my own mind. I challenge myself. I mean, you could do it. I get somewhere close to it, and that's what I do, and I have fun with it. So,
That's the mainest thing.
well, it was fingers. But anyway,
Well, that'll
this is it.
stretch them back.
I am hoping so. But anyway, you guys all have a good night. Everybody be good.
Yep.
Thank
All
you.
Thanks.
right. Thank you, Al. All right, let's go see what Mr. Duxbury's got.
Ooh, I got two things. The natural edge. This is Bradford pear.
Oh, I like it.
I like the way the bark stayed on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
There's no glue on this either. It was cut in the winter. So,
Wow.
and there's one pith here. And on this side here, there's two.
Yeah.
And I usually don't get away with that, but maybe I haven't yet. It's starting to crack. The other thing is, this is more complicated. This is I refined my, we can see in here, there's
You can see it.
a medallion in there in the bottom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, this ring and this ring are the same. One's in cherry and one was in maple. They're cut diagonal and put together to make a ring looks like this. This ring and this ring are the same, and they're cut diagonally and put together.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Well, when you say the same, you're talking about the same piece, and you cut it on an angle like you're showing.
There's
Right.
two rings. There's two rings. These are about an inch wide. This ring here,
Right.
from here up,
Right.
and this ring here. One was in maple, and one was in cherry. And then you cut them diagonally and switch one ring with the other ring until you get wedge-shaped rings. So this one and this one then would go together, and it would make a bowl.
But did you cut those on a bandsaw?
Yes, yes. And when I cut them on the bandsaw, I take the one side of the one, and I glue it to the other side, which is good, and then face off both sides.
Right.
So both sides are good to glue other things together. Anyway,
That's interesting.
I refined that wixie sled or wedgie sled, and I'll tell you that works so nice now. I don't even try the segments. I just cut. This is a 6 segment, but I cut 12 and 14 segments, and I don't even check them. I just put glue on them and band them up. It works every time.
Don't even have to sand them or anything. Get rid of
Nothing. I cut them on a 60-tooth blade, and instead of cutting them where the piece drops off, I left that wing on the other side. So when you cut it, the piece stays there. You put a pencil eraser on there and bring the whole piece back. You don't get that drop off. You don't get the piece torn off on the side. So they come out dead on.
Nice.
You
Anyway,
said it's 60. You said so you don't even have to sand for tooth marks or anything then, huh?
no. Don't take your time sawing. Don't cut them real quick.
Okay.
But yeah, those are all just put together.
Wow.
I don't see a gap one.
No,
No,
there's
you don't.
I don't get any saw ridges off of my blades either.
no.
But
There's
I use a 60 or an 80 tooth blade depending on what I want to do. And
yeah.
I get plain or smooth joints every cut.
Sometimes an 80 tooth will burn it, won't
It depends on how fast you're going and what kind of wood it is.
it? Yeah, and some wood, yeah. Anyway,
Cherry's notorious for burning.
yeah. Wish you could see the medallion in the mountain. But anyway, yeah, you can see
Yeah, you
it.
can see it. Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah,
That's really pretty.
Great detail.
yeah. That's it.
That's awesome.
Great
That's
work,
it.
Dad.
Mercy. Can't wait to see what you got next week, Jim.
Yeah, me either. Anyway,
uh, let's see. I'm going to get Mr. King on before he falls asleep.
Yeah.
We got you, Howard.
Howard,
Oh, Howard.
you're early. Great to see you.
Hello. What's going on?
Not much.
I know you got something to show.
Oh, yes, I have to go find it. I don't know what my wife did with it. So
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I'll be back
go
in a
to some-
second.
Yep,
I'll be
go
back in a
ahead.
second.
I'll go to Pat and I'll bring you up. Hey, Patrick.
Turned a piece of cedar this week, and I don't know whether you call it a bowl or a tray. And
Wow.
turned a little knobs for it and carved out some handles.
Oh my goodness.
That looks great.
That is great. Pretty.
Very
nice.
very,
Is
very
that from
pretty,
that,
Patrick.
is that from that tree you're working on?
No, this is a piece that's been sawed for probably 4 years. I got a bunch of cedar. I'm gonna have a
What's your
bunch
finish?
more.
What's your
It's
finish on?
enamel. It's an enamel finish.
It's slick. That looks great.
It's
Yeah,
My
beautiful.
God.
Like the handles,
Gorgeous.
those look good, really nice.
Right?
Yeah, I've been having fun putting handles on different things.
Blame
that's
Dewey,
cool.
right?
Yep. He lit a fire under me.
Right? All Dewey's fault.
Well, you use pins to hold them down. You put pins in each end of the handle.
Yes. Yeah, on this one, what I did is got my positions marked out, and then I drilled the handles and put the pins in each end, and then took the handle and put it in position to mark the bottom piece. And then I drilled that, and it just slid right in perfect.
How about that?
Wow,
Right.
fantastic.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Almost
Slicker
like
than
a-
owl snot.
So yeah.
Really pretty, Patrick. That's really, really pretty.
Yeah, it sure is.
That's pretty.
Yes, there are going to be people tell you that's too pretty to use, Pat.
I wouldn't use it.
Yeah, you can set it up and look at it, I guess.
That's it.
Right? Yeah,
Pretty.
that's great.
Yeah, the Eastern cedar
That
really
is
is pretty.
Yeah, I love turning cedar. It's kind of dusty, but I love turning it. And it finishes beautiful.
Yeah, it does. Sure does.
I got a question here. I got a couple of pieces of I guess a conifer tree. I don't know, some type of it's not cedar, but it's somewhere in that family, you know. But anyway, it's real sappy. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it other than throw it away. It's just man, that stuff is so sticky. Any suggestions or
Yeah, I haven't turned enough of it to know with the evergreen trees, softwoods.
If it's real sappy, I normally don't try to turn it.
yeah, that's what
Is
I'm
it-
gonna do.
Terrible mess.
I'm just gonna chunk it.
Is it maybe fatwood?
It's what?
Is it fatwood?
No, it's a tree. I mean, you know, it was cut down, but it's
Cedar.
Yeah,
some
a lot of
cedar-
the
some cedars are really sappy.
a lot of pines get real sappy. They call it fatwood because it's really good for starting a fire.
yeah.
Yeah, that's heartwood out of a pine tree. What they call fatwood.
Right.
Or we call it lightwood, firewood, fatwood. And like I said, it's good for starting a fire.
Yeah, they have just cut it down, so it's got a lot of sap in it. You know, it's wrong year, wrong time of the year to begin with, but I think it's just too much of a mess. I think I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I don't
Yeah,
either.
I don't care
Yeah.
for turning sappy wood.
No.
Turning wet wood when it's giving you a shower is bad enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
without it being sticky, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
You know, an idea on that wood that's all sappy like that, you could put it in a fire pit, scorch it, get it hot enough, and then cool it off, and it'd be just like that stuff from the Bastrop fire that Billy turned, where all that sap crystallizes within the wood.
Yeah.
Might cure
That
that.
could be.
That sounds like a lot of trouble, though.
Right? I'm with you,
It's a
Bob.
good idea.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotta watch
All
putting
right.
that in the microwave to dry it out. It'll catch fire.
All right, let's swing back to Howard and see what he's got. We
Am
got
I on?
Howard.
Anyway, I got
Yes,
a piece
sir.
of mahogany here, and
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. That's great.
Yeah, I saw that on
Right.
Facebook as well. Absolutely
Yeah.
gorgeous.
You said it's mahogany?
yeah, Magnolia.
Okay.
Well, they
Okay.
both start with M, so you know.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough.
Alabama.
Well, tell us how you did it.
Maybe this is Alabama mahogany. Reckon?
Yeah.
No,
I reckon that worked.
no, it's Alabama
them.
Magnolia. That's what it is. It's not from Mississippi, the Magnolia State.
But
Anyway.
just tell us how you did the design.
Well, I just played around with it, and I kind of like vertical things, you know, and so Magnolia has a lots of black streaks going through it. So, but it's a good white wood that you know you can put some colored stuff to it if you want, if you like, and so anyway, did lots of stippling on it, and then colored with India ink and did a little carving work up here on top. I don't know if you can see
Oh,
it.
nice.
Oh, you can see it now. Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Is that stave construction?
no, it was a log. It was a
Oh, okay.
log, and let's see, what part of the log? Yeah,
Yeah.
half of it. Half
Okay.
of it.
Wow. That's
Because
just amazing.
You can kind of see the grains.
Right.
Yes.
It's a
Nice
big old.
end grain.
It's a big old magnolia. I keep wanting to say mahogany. I don't know. I'm stuck.
Magnolia.
Magnolia.
Nice
There you
end grain
go.
turning, Howard. Nice end grain turning.
Yeah.
Can,
So
can you bring
what
the red part closer to the camera?
the what?
The
That's
red
it.
part.
The red part. Bring it closer. Oh, that is just beautiful.
Wow.
Now,
How did you
do the black design around the or was that
Up
That's
here?
part of the wood.
it's part of the wood?
Yes. It's got black streaks going through it.
No, I'm talking about actually when you're looking at your red chevron, it looks like
Yes,
the thing is outlined in black.
it is. I did stippling around these little things
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
all around.
Beautiful.
So did you
And,
use pyrography around the red chevrons?
Yes, this is yes.
No, I'm around the red chevrons. The red pieces.
Yes.
So you pyroed around those?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it, barely see the black.
Oh,
Yes.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Of course, the
Man, that
base,
works.
the base is, same.
Right.
Wow.
Did you do the chevrons freehand? Was that all free-handed?
Well, I used to try to do that all the time, and I found out I made some patterns, and so I just traced the patterns out.
Okay.
And then I laid out these
Too early, girl. Too early to go
chevrons,
outside.
lay out the chevrons, and then did the stippling around it, the pyrography around each one of these, and then colored them. And
Okay.
Oh, just beautiful.
That's a lot of work.
yeah, sure is.
I love the texturing on the base.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, sure does.
Oh, I don't know if you can see it or not, but
So I take it your wife's not going to let you sell that one, huh?
well, she had it hid. I took a while to find it, so
Uh-huh.
so
So
anyway, I found it.
what about the one from last week?
Oh, see. Okay, I'll be back in a second.
All right.
You had that one too on him.
We'll go to another maid here, and let's see. Go to Scott. Yes, buddy.
So I got two pieces tonight. The first piece, I don't know if you guys know what poplar's like.
Yep.
But it's an absolute pain to turn. It tears out real bad. Last year for a not a fundraiser, but we did a demo for a club, and they asked us to donate some pieces, and I did a chip and dip bowl, and it got more money than anything else. So I thought I'd do a poplar chip and dip bowl, and I've got one coat of tongue oil on it. I got to get a couple or three more coats on it to get that shine that Dane does.
Great job on that, Scott.
Yeah,
And that's a
great.
beautiful piece of poplar too.
I'm very happy with the wood. The other piece I've got, we did a collaboration challenge in our club a while back. So one of our fellows does a really good job of doing, not really segmented, but he cuts pieces up. And between him and I, we cut a lot of pieces, and I did a horrible job of gluing them up. But like you can see,
That still looks great.
Yeah, it looks
Wow.
good.
But, I'm just stoked, and I would love to have his talent for doing pieces and gluing them up properly. But that's
Is that your first one, Scott?
my first one of these.
Yes.
Yes. He had glued up a couple other pieces, and I turned them.
You did great.
Thank you.
That's excellent.
He doesn't feel comfortable turning. I did a couple other like these, but he had done all the glue up and that, and this was my first try at gluing them up. And I tell you, it holds cookies really good.
Jigs really help with gluing things like that together, Scott.
He uses, and he told me, pipe clamps. He said that's my biggest problem is I didn't have pipe clamps because I guess they'll suck stuff in better.
Right.
So, but I think if I do it again, I'll do it one layer at a time and then move out. But
Well, Scott, what size degree? What degree did you cut those?
I believe that some of them are at 45 and some are 22 and a half. Like if you look at the outer ones, they're 45 degrees. Or 90 and 45, sorry.
Right.
But he's got jigs. He is a jig master. And when he does his stuff, he does picnic tables and TV trays and everything. And he does an awesome job. And I went out, we just cut 100 pieces and I brought them home and glued them up. And I wish I would have had him help me glue up, because if you look, like here is not right, and here there's two pieces of maple together. I messed up, but I think I'd like to try more of this type of thing. So
yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, it does. Really nice. It looks real nice. Use the wedge sled to catch pieces.
He builds his own jigs, and he uses like.
How about you? Good. Sorry. Sorry.
Big pardon?
No, I'm sorry. I butted in.
Oh, no. He makes his own jigs for cutting the angles, and he will finesse them, and he uses a bolt and nut to try and get them just perfect. And the pieces are cut immaculately. It's the glue up that's screwed up.
Yeah, you really can't tell unless it's pointed out.
Yeah. Well, I'm the guy that glued it up, and I could see every mistake. So
Right. Yeah, we're our own worst critic. Wait till you do your next one.
yes, I'm looking forward. I got to get out to his place, and we're going to cut about another 100 pieces, and I can bring him in and screw that up too.
You actually
Nonsense.
you don't cut each piece. You actually cut a diamond shaped strip, right? A diamond shaped.
That's right. You cut,
yeah.
Like when I did this, I had about
Yeah.
50 pieces in a bag, and I just
Yeah.
brought them out and set them out. I started setting the pattern up and put glue on them, and then I thought a band clamp would do it, but it just
No, I won't. No, it's got to wander.
yeah. Now you tell me.
Yeah. But you don't make each piece. You make a length of timber that's diamond shaped, right? And then cut off the.
Nope, we cut every single piece.
Oh my God. No way.
Doing what you're saying, you could do.
No way.
He does it. I guess it would be kind of like a wedgie sled, because you cut the angle and then you slide it up to a stop, and you cut it again and slide it up to the stop and cut it again. So it's much like a wedgie sled that he uses, but it's a jig. So he gave a demo at our club one night, and it was 5 other guys in the club made the same jigs, and they all went out to his place and had him help them do the final finessing. That's how nice a job he does. So.
Cool.
Yeah, it looks great.
Thank you.
Outstanding. All right. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to Mr. King. We got you, Howard.
Several years ago,
There it is.
guy came to our Alabama meeting in Texas, had a trailer load of mesquite, and boy, I loaded up my car with mesquite, and so at that time I had turned a bunch of green mesquite and have been letting it sit around, and so I finally dug this one out, and but anyway, it's mesquite, and
that's nice.
It's
sweet, nice.
I love mesquite because of the color and the yellow sap. It's just fantastic. And
amen.
And let me tell you, this bark,
it's sharp.
It'll cut your finger off. Ask me how I know that. But anyway, it's kind of real dumpy looking, real short dumpy looking. And so that's why I made the finial kind of fat and dumpy looking. Resembles me, I think, you know.
And me.
Did that all get hollowed from the top?
It's hollowed out, yeah.
From the top only?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good job.
It's all one piece, except for the finial.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Very nice, Howard.
Howard, do you have any trouble with your mesquite cracking?
No,
no,
because this was green, and I wet turned it.
Oh,
and then I soaked it in denatured alcohol for a day, and then pull it out and let it dry. And this has been sitting in my shop in the corner, I guess, 6 years.
Oh wow! Cool.
There was three of them. I turned one for a burial urn for a good friend of mine about 5 years ago, and the other two have been laying around and being kicked around in the corner. And so finally, I said, well, I'm going to do something with this one.
Wow!
And had a big worm come out right here, so I had to fill that in.
Yeah, I like that part.
Mesquite's bad about getting bugs.
It gets
Yeah, well, you
frustrating.
see
Yeah, I have
a
a hard
couple
time.
more bug
Yeah.
holes.
Yeah.
I've not had a problem with it cracking though.
No.
No, I
Yeah,
haven't had any
no.
problems with it.
Yeah, I haven't either,
No,
Sandra.
mesquite has a tendency to be very, very stable.
Well, and it,
Yeah.
you know, what's so strange is I brought some home from Arizona this year. Brought 3 pieces home for a friend who wanted it. And I sealed it, you know, and left it open, and they were blanks. And all 3 of them got some cracks on them when they got here. They had some cracks.
Huh.
So I don't.
The finial is walnut,
Oh, that's so pretty.
and but yeah, I love mesquite. Boy, it finishes fantastic. You know.
It
Yeah, it
does,
does.
don't it? Turns great.
Yeah, I
Well,
got
Some
several
go
more
hard.
pieces I'm going to eventually get to, I guess.
Yeah.
Then I'm
What
going
did
to
you use? I'm sorry. So
do
what
what?
did you use to hollow that out? What did you use?
Um, I have a Trent Bosch equalizer, and also have a Lyle Jameson piece
Hmm.
that. So anyway, I don't know what's going. Oh, there we go. So anyway,
Beautiful piece.
Great job,
so
Howard.
anyway,
All right.
do
Thank you,
y'all
sir.
think that Y'all think that matches this? The chunky.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks
Yes.
great.
Absolutely.
It works. It totally works.
Yes. It looks
I
great.
usually try to make real small, thin
Right.
finials, and so I didn't think that'd look too good on this thing.
Right. Yeah, you nailed the proportion. You nailed the proportions on it.
Perfect proportion.
It tops it off.
Beautiful.
That's all. That's all, folks.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right, let's go to Mr. Billy.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
I got
hello.
to, but before I go any further, I got to experience a new kind of thing last night. Me and 2 other turners from Alamo Woodturners went up to Austin to their meeting that we had. They asked us to come up and judge the President's Challenge. They did a President's Challenge where they were everybody was given a random block of wood, and their assignment was to take it away and turn it. And then they brought back a turn piece, and then they handed them out again randomly, and the individual that got them had to embellish them. And so they asked us to come up and judge their pieces and gave out gift certificates for the winners. It was really, really cool, and it was also very difficult to do. I had the task of judging just the turning itself, so I had to make sure that I didn't focus at all on any of the embellished aspects or coloring or anything like that. I had to just concentrate on form and fit, and that was tough. And one of the other judges judged just the embellishment, and then the third judge did best overall. Anyway, we had a great time, and it was really cool. Y'all know I've been on a critter kick lately, and I'm not done. I have more to make, but this is not going to be one of the pieces sitting on the table at SWAT. It will be in my instant gallery, but it will not be on the table.
Oh, what very nice.
So cool.
Little group.
Very cool.
I love that.
Wonderful.
A solid piece of wood, except for the arms
Good
and
job.
ears, but it's
Damn,
all
that looks like
mesquite.
Cal Dawson. Isn't it Al?
It's all mesquite. Top view, you can see the ears are sculpted. These were 2 pieces glued together with paper. It held together just long enough for me to get a rough shape on them, and then they flew apart. So I re-glued them, and the same thing happened. So I gave up and just hand formed them. But the arms were turned from a small piece of mesquite, and then I carved the hands out of the same piece. It's the arms and hands are one piece, the body and head are one piece, the ears were from another piece, and held on with bamboo skewers that I drilled into the ear and drilled into the head. And then I just finished it up. The face I lasered and I hand pyroed all the rest of it. The pleats in the cloak or whatever you would call that. All of that was hand pyroed. The ears were hand pyroed, and finished with a couple of coats of 2X Ultra gloss. But this was fun to do. It took a while, but it was fun.
It looks pretty.
It's excellent.
It's real pretty.
Thank you.
Hey, Cap, I wish I was that good. Thanks for the compliment, but I wish I was that good.
So I got to ask, is that a character from pop culture?
For those that don't know, his name is Grogu. For a long time, everybody was calling him Baby Yoda. It's not a Baby Yoda. It is of the same species. It's from Star Wars. So
Okay.
yes, I guess you
Well, I
could
don't
say
know.
it's pop culture.
Okay.
When you first
actually, this character comes from the Star Wars Netflix
Mandalorian.
series, The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's where that comes from.
Never seen him.
When you first showed the body piece without any painting or anything or ears or anything, I really thought it was going to be Jabba the Hutt. You asked us to guess, and that was my guess.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm thinking, well, I can almost kind of see it, but he don't have enough. He don't have enough body going this way.
Yeah, that's true.
He was on a big diet.
Baby Jabba.
Ain't big enough for Jabba either.
No,
Jabba was much more
I don't
round.
think my lathe's big enough to turn a Jabba.
I guess you're a Star Wars instead of a Star Trekkie, huh?
I'm both.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Neither.
Hmm.
All right. Well, with that, let's go see what Mr. Scott Teague has got. All right, we got you, Scott.
Finally got around to making a round bar skew.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
I still haven't finished mine.
So I changed the dimensions a little bit from what Martin gave us. So it's got a 45 included angle on the bevels, but the diagonal is 40 degrees approximately instead of 45. 45 was way too radical. So I shortened it. It was Martin told us to make it at 45 degrees.
Right.
Right, I remember.
And it's way too acute of an angle on this edge.
Right.
So I cut it back to 40 degrees and it works a lot better.
Cool.
I like mine at 30. 30 works pretty good for me.
Yep. I'm sure it's all on what you get used to, but if I'd have started with this skew, I wouldn't have bought any other skews because this is so easy to use. I haven't got a catch with it yet, and I just played with it for the last 15 minutes.
What makes it so easy?
I think it's the round bar. It's the control you get with the round bar on your tool rest.
Hey, Scott, is that high speed steel?
This is M2. It's M2 steel.
You got the steel off Amazon?
Yeah, I bought three pieces off of Amazon for, I think they were less than $30 for 3 foot long pieces, 1/2 inch bar.
If you want to see some catches, you just give it to me for 10 minutes.
I don't use the skew very often because I get a lot of catches with it. This one is pretty doggone nice. I'll use this a lot.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
You'll have to show us when you have to use it and show us when you use it. Give us a little demonstration.
Here's the first shavings on the first pass.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
And that's coming from somebody that doesn't use a skew, folks. That's great.
Yes. And I used a piece of basswood yet on top of it.
Huh.
Interesting.
And it's baby smooth. You wouldn't have to sand it. So
nice.
What is
anybody
that?
that wants to make one, they're a little tricky to make, but once you figure it out, it ain't bad.
What are they? What do you got? A 1/2 inch rod there? 1/2 inch rail?
Yep. So it's a 1/2 inch rail. I drilled a hole in a block of wood, cut it off at 40 degrees to make this angle. Then I took my angle grinder, cut that bar off at 40 degrees. And then I set my platform up on my grinder to rough it to 22 degrees on each side, 22.5 on each side. And then I took my Wolverine jig. Once I got that angle where I could verify that it was 22.5 degrees, I took my extension for my Wolverine jig that you normally use to sharpen your bowl gouges. And I laid that in that yoke and set that bar to 22.5 degrees and ground it on the wheel, and it worked great. Smoothed it right out, made it look nice, uniform. It was easy. Once I figured it
looks
out.
good. Yeah, it looks good.
So
it's a lot more forgiving than a regular skew.
You said 22 degrees on your angle?
Yep, 22.5 on each side, which gives you a 45 degree cumulative angle.
And 40 on your cut. 40 degrees on your cut.
40 degrees across the face.
40. Okay.
And 22 on each side. 22.5 on each side.
Got it. Got it. You can't find that metal at Lowe's or Home Depot?
No.
Amazon.
No.
You can't buy them too at Lowe's or at the box stores.
Just go to a metal, maybe just a metal shop.
Yeah, metal shop may have it. Machine shop, they'll have it. High speed
They'll
steel.
have it. You got McMaster's Car. You got a few others.
Yeah. I looked at it at Master Car. I just found a better deal on Amazon. Okay. And after I ordered it, I could have drove to the next town and got it because that's where it came from.
Imagine that.
So now I have an account there. So if I want it, I just go get it.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
There's a few other still suppliers online. I can't think of their names though. Reasonable priced.
Yeah, they're out there.
The shock absorber.
W1.
Yeah, you could find an old shock for like a hood, a truck hood or a topper hood that's got a 1/2 inch bar in it or a 3/8 bar. You
for your truck, for your hood, for your shocks, for your struts. Those are 1995 and beyond. That's all W1 steel. That would make perfect round bar stock for you.
Yep.
And Ray, you're looking for.
Can you grind W1 on a CBN?
Yes, it's hardened steel.
Yes.
Okay.
It's low carbon hardened steel.
You're going to be grinding a while.
Oh yeah.
It's
be as hard as this M2.
Yeah.
I can use a regular hard stone, can't I?
Sure, absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
They used stone, long before CBN wheels ever existed.
Yeah, I started shaping this on a stone wheel. You'd have been there forever unless you had an 80 grit CBN. I just finished it on my 340 CBN just to take the roughness out of my 60 grit stone wheel.
Yep. All right. Well, that's a great tool.
Now I'll card hone it from now on. It won't see the grinder very often.
My question is, how did you set up your one-way jig that normally does your bowl gouges? How did you set that up to do a skew?
So this this will rock in that yoke, right? Just like
Yeah.
the handle on your other tools.
Okay.
So if you're not using a one-way jig, you use the tool itself. And like if you're doing a roughing gouge, you put the butt end of the handle in that yoke.
Yeah.
And rotate it around. The only difference is you're not rotating this. You're
No,
just set.
I
But
understand.
I had this angle preset from grinding it on the flat on the other flat rest.
Gotcha.
And I finished it in that because on the flat rest, this bar wants to roll in your fingers, so you can't get it perfect.
Got it. Got it.
He's not putting it in the very grind jig, Sue.
Right.
That you
Right.
put your
I
that
got
you put
that.
your
I got
skews
that.
in.
Said the handles. So,
Okay.
yeah. Thanks, Billy.
Resting it in the V arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a V arm. So yeah.
So I'm using this.
Yeah, right there in that
Right.
trough.
Right.
So I already have the angle roughed in on this bar.
Well, that was my question.
And then I just set it in there and put downward pressure on it. I don't move it side to side. I don't rotate it. I try to hold it as straight and flat as you can against the wheel, and it'll grind it'll clean up your bevels.
Gotcha.
But you got to hand start them on the flat tool rest first.
I understand. Okay. Gotcha.
And before I'm done, there will be a jig for the flat tool rest to get that so I don't have to monkey around. I'm going to build a jig that fits on my flat tool rest to grind 22.5 degrees every time.
Sounds good.
You go.
Called you learn as you go, right?
Yep.
That's right. That's right. Well, thanks for sharing that, Scott. All right, we're at the top of the hour, so let's go get our safety moment on.
Well, guys,
Sue.
waiting for the number to come up underneath my chin. Hang on a second. I know. I want you all to be shocked today. I actually got into the shop yesterday.
Sue, we lost you. We're looking at the ceiling fan.
Yeah, I know, because the locks came off this chair that I'm on, and I slid across the room. I don't know how the light's going to take this, but this is a Devon click pen, and it's got
looks good.
I got an acrylic crush on blank on there, and the light doesn't really show it well, but it's got a fantastic shine on this. And I don't use those micro things on the acrylics anymore. I use them. Dr. Kirk's. They've got the
red, white, and blue.
Yeah, red, white, and blue plus the original.
Yeah, the scratch. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the same thing in. Now this one was pink, and you can see the swirls in it. I painted the inside side of it white. I should have painted it a darker pink. Maybe the swirls would have come out better, but that's it. And believe it or not, this is a second. And the reason why I say it's a second, because most people wouldn't notice it, but I did. You see where the paint came off?
Oh,
yeah.
All right. It also came off on the other side, which I hid under the clip. And I thought I was being smart until I saw it's on the opposite side as well. Oh, well, it was a practice pen. So, yeah. Okay, I want to share my screen. Let's see if this works. Yes, it did. Let's go. What I wanted to show everybody was, let's go into facts. And we're going to go into safety. Are you guys seeing all this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if we go into safety checklist, toxic info, safety moment, let's go into safety moment. See if that's where I want to go. I think it is. Come on. All right, tell me why it's not working. There. Okay. we're into it. Safety moment. I get a lot of my safety talks from the safety moment, and it's great. You guys really need to read this so I don't have to read it to you. But what I really like is on the side, it gives you different websites to go to for additional materials. Paul Hannaby, I don't know if he's on tonight, but
he's not.
He's not. That's a shame because, well, we're going to, here's Paul Hannaby's site. And I just had a cat knock down all her treats so she could go help herself. What I liked, if you go to his home screen, okay, and in red it says, remember, wood turning and tools and equipment used are dangerous. If you're unfamiliar with the tools, techniques employed, seek expert tuition before attempting to use them on your own. And that's true. And even though we've all done it, we all know how dangerous that wood turning could be. You know, we see the things on YouTube with things flying through the air, hitting a guy over the head or whatever. But and we might laugh at the little short video, but really it's not funny. If you go to his turn safe part, wood turning safety, staying safe at the lathe. This whole thing is wonderful. Are you fit? Well, yeah. Do you have a headache? Are you just going in there because you're ticked off at somebody? Are your feet sore? Is your back sore? A plethora of things. If any one of those answers are yes, then please stay out of the shop. You need to be cognizant of what you're doing. Make sure that your clothing, and that includes everything you've got on, folks. Don't embellish, guys. Working with rotating equipment. Remember, everything that we use has rotation in it. Table saws, hand saws, chainsaws, sanders, grinders. Okay, make sure that you don't have loose clothing around them, even if it's gloves, because you don't want something to get caught in that spinning wheel and have yourself get caught up. Jewelry that may catch. We've talked about this before. Earrings, neck chains, rings, watches should be removed beforehand. Make sure you have sensible footwear. I've got some leather sneakers or whatever they want to call them that I can tie. And I also have some that you can just slip in. I won't wear my slip-ins because I don't feel steady enough with the slip-ins in front of a lathe. A lot of this we've talked about before, but because of the plethora of information here, safety equipment talks about, okay, remember Paul's across the pond. They don't say glasses, they say spectacles. So, and he talks about the different ratings for goggles, both of the European and the US equivalents. It's good to know. Did you know that on your UVEC headgear that we use, that on Amazon they have the replacement visors? They have some ones that are replacement visors specifically for that. But if you look at the rating, it's a lot lower than the more expensive one. Don't go cheap, folks. Get the most expensive one. Because remember, if it breaks, it's your face. And also, if you get bumped in the head with something, not the head, but your visor, replace it. Because now you have, even if it's a microscopic, you got a fault in that visor and it needs to be replaced. But there's so much here. I'm not going to take up the whole meeting. I wanted to bring stuff in here that we probably haven't thought about, such as lifting, equipment guards, fire precautions, a lot of stuff. So folks, I am going to see if I can unshare this. Stop share. There we go. And say, be safe this week. Be safe next week. And I hope to see you next Wednesday. So take care, everybody. And I hope that you all learned something from Paul Hannaby this week because he's a tremendous turner. Take care.
Thank you, Sue.
Thanks, Sue.
Work.
Take care, Sue.
Thank you very much, Sue.
Thank you.
I want to get on, let's see, I'm going to do one more gallery, and then we will get to our feature demonstration for the evening. So let's go to Mr. Jason Cody. Hey, Jason. You're muted, buddy.
Okay, hi.
Yeah, we got you now.
You hear me? All right.
Yes.
Yes, I got a couple crosses. This one is a lilac tree that fell down, and so I turned it. Came
Looks
out
great.
nicer than it looks here on the camera, but
Oh, it looks wonderful.
anyway. And then I got one other one that's out of my favorite wood, which is cherry. But this piece was extraordinary. It's got some beautiful color in it, and I decided that it needed to be a box. So it's large enough to hold a rosary.
Yes.
And it will go to my godmother for her 90th birthday this weekend.
That's really nice.
And
outstanding, Jason.
The grain match came out okay too. Not too bad.
Yeah, you did a good job. You did a good job on that.
Yep.
Yes, you did.
Thank you. So
wonderful.
You understood the assignment.
I tried.
yeah, you did a good job. You know, I wanted to make sure I got you on before you might have got too late for you out there. So outstanding. All right. So with that, let's go to Mr. Jeff for our featured demonstration tonight. So Jeff is going to be doing a demonstration on something tonight. It's going to be Jeff's demonstration. And we'll try to keep and hold our questions and comments till the end of the demonstration, unless Jeff wants to question questions from the gallery. Otherwise, you can put them in the chat, and I will ask the questions to Jeff at the opportune times when he's not focused on turning. And other than that, I will go ahead at this moment and mute everybody. Jeff, you will have to unmute yourself. I'm muting everybody now. And I should have you.
Thank you, Dane. Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. We're going to turn something tonight that I first did about 11 years ago, and I got the idea after seeing the movie Mars Attacks. And that's this little thing right here. It's going to be made in two pieces.
Nice.
A piece of hard maple. And in this case, my practice piece was a piece of spalted ambrosia maple. Let me get back here in the light a little bit. So put it together, and it's actually a confetti light.
Oh, how about that?
So, and the practice piece I like so much that I'm actually going to finish it and put it into a show in August.
Nice.
So what we're going to start off working with tonight is a piece of hard maple. And in this case, the bottom piece is going to be a piece of walnut with some sapwood in it. And we're going to start on the top first. If you want to switch to my other camera here.
All righty. For the lathe, and you'll need to unmute that one too, maybe.
No, that one's, I'm keeping the mic on the tablet.
Okay, got it.
There we go. That looks familiar. So we're just
Yes.
going to put it between centers. And we're going to true it up. And it's going to be approximately 6.5 inches when I get done. So. And as always, wear a mask, a respirator. I'm not wearing a respirator. It's the only time I don't wear a respirator is when I'm doing a demo because I can't talk.
Understandable.
I've got, let's see, later. Okay. I had a little thing come up on my phone, so I had to take care of that. So can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay. I'm going to start out turning at 1240 RPMs, simply because that's button number 5 on my lathe. So we're going to get this screwed up. That's pretty good. I'll just do a very light shear. And there's still a little bit of wobbliness in it. I'm not worried about that because our next step is going to take care of that. So this blank is rated at 2 inches thick, and it's not exactly 2 inches. It's a little bit under, so we've got to find the center mark. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my scale. Coming from the back side, I'm going to mark 1 inch. Then coming from the front side, I'm going to mark 1 inch. And I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not, but right there.
Yep.
That actually gives me 2 points so that I can mark my center. So I have got that ready to go. So the next step we're going to do is we've got to put a 1.5 inch, a 1.5 inch round hole all the way through. And I'll explain why we're doing that when we get to that point of putting them together. So, now to do this, I'm going to need my coal jaws. So I've got my big, what I call my industrial strength coal jaws. Now these buttons I have on are specially made buttons. They're made by a gentleman here in the Detroit area woodturners club named Dennis Montville. These got a little collar on them, so the piece sets 1/8 of an inch off the base of the coal jaws. And for this drilling bit, that's important because we don't want to damage the drill and we don't want to damage the coal jaws. So let's see. Almost there. So what I'm going to do is just gently tighten up until I can feel that collar. Yep, I'm setting perfect on it. So as you can see in the image, that's setting 1/8 inch off the coal jaws.
Yep.
And all my drilling that I do, where it's pens or anything, is 500 RPMs. And on this particular drill bit, we're coming up to right about there will give us the width of this blank. So when I get about here, I'm going to really slow down and bring this in slowly, so I just break the surface on the back side. And what's nice is the hole is big enough, we don't have to use air pressure or anything to blow it out. It does a pretty good job of cleaning everything out. And I just got a slow, steady pace going. I'm going to back it up so I can move my tailstock in a little bit, because I don't want to overextend my quill. There we go. Now I'm at that point. I'm just holding on to the wheel on my tailstock and just very gently and slowly turning it in, because I want to feel when those teeth just break through. I'm sure this part is like watching paint dry. Okay, I'm feeling it.
Very good.
Yep. I can actually see down that slit just a little bit. No, we did not go through. Almost. It sounds like it's hitting the metal, but it's not. There we go. I just heard a slight little wood snap. And I believe we're through. And we are. Whoop. I keep going for the wrong camera.
Yeah,
so we are
fine.
through with that. And we are done with the coal jaws now. They're so big and heavy, I just got them out of here. I'm going over to a chuck with pin jaws on it now. And if anybody's wondering, this is the Hurricane brand of chucks. I got it many years ago from the wood turning store. They're a knockoff of Vicmark. And some people have said some nasty things about them. I'll tell you, they've been great little chucks for me. I have got no complaints whatsoever.
That's good to know.
Yeah. The thing is, they're just as expensive as all the other chucks now, with everything else that's going up in price. So I'm kind of examining this now, and it's kind of hard to tell in the light. I'm going to try to hold it at an angle. I want the most grain on the top. And, I think I kind of like this for the top, simply because of this. See, right here. Yeah, everything's backwards on mine too. So this is going to be the top. So I'm going to start with the bottom first. This is the other thing with hurricanes. They give you this nice long chuck key.
Yeah, it's handy for the cold jaws.
It is for the cold jaws, and if you're turning a big piece, for instance, like a chip and dip
right.
bowl you saw earlier, that really comes in handy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start forming this shape here. And see if I get this going. There we go. This shape right here. And we're going to shoot for getting both sides identical. If they're not identical, it's okay. Nobody's really going to notice it. Except for maybe you, because we're our own worst critics.
Right.
Move some things out of the way here. And I'm going back to 1250. Drop that just a little bit. And it's just a matter now of just kind of eyeballing it, just as though you're doing the bottom of a bowl. Yeah, I can tell I'm not wearing a respirator. So I'm looking back here at my shape, and I'm seeing I'm almost there. So now we're going to go from here. It's a little rounded. Let's do this. And because it's dry, it's very, very hot on the hand. Always a joy. There we go. Oh, that's much better. So I got that basic shape that I want. So what I'm going to do now, so this down here, I'm going to do some of my shaping with sanding using the power sander. And just like drilling, I always use 500 RPM for sanding. One. And I'm just going through my grits, 60 to probably 320. I started with 60 because I had a lot of tool marks in here. And still seeing a few things here. Right here seems to be an area with the end grain. It can be a royal pain, just like we have on some bowls. And the fact that this is a hard maple attributes to that. Almost there. Yeah, I think that'll do it.
Looking smooth already.
Yeah, yeah. So we're up to 120 now, and the rest of the grits go very fast.
Hey Jeff, when you're power sanding like that, do you have the drill going in reverse?
No, I actually have it going forward because this is coming towards me. So what happens is this is turning against the grain.
Right on. Right on.
Okay. When we do the other piece, I will do some reverse on the drill, simply because it's kind of hard to get into some areas with this. Okay. There's a little chatoyance coming through already. I still got two bad spots on the end grain. So I'm going to go back to that real quick. Got it right there, right there. And sometimes that doesn't show up until you get into the final grits. And I got to grab a new 240 real quick. Okay, that's pretty good. And I think 320 will be the last grit I use tonight. Okay. That will do with that. Now we're ready to move to the other side. And this is the side I decided is going to be the top. Back to 1240 or 1250, I mean. Whoop. Make sure that's in there tight. And I'm just going to touch this edge just a hair. That's pretty close. So now we're going to go back to our power sanding, starting at 60 grit. I had a 60 grit here. I must have dropped it. Let me grab another one. The captain would be nice. I got all kinds of making shavings on the floor.
Indeed, indeed.
I also don't have my dust collector running. There's a lot more dust than I normally have here.
Oh, Zoom's filtering that out also. You're doing good.
That's good. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm not getting some of that stubbornness that I had before, which is good. So move on up to 120. Okay. This side's been a little bit more cooperative. So we're up to 240 now. And then finally 320. What I'll do here with the 320, since it was the last grit used, is I'll just use that to kind of clean up the edge a little bit. Let's see how that looks. Nice. I don't know if the camera's showing it, but it's actually got a little bit of chatoyance already.
Yeah, I can see it on my screen. Looks great.
So there's one more thing we're going to do with this. that I didn't do. We're going to flip this back around to the bottom side. And we're going to put a little flat edge right there so that when we put the bottom piece into it, it'll set flush. And we're just going to lightly come into it, just like that. We're not going deep. We're just bringing this point even with this point. And with that, I'll take a piece of my 320 that I used last and just clean that a little bit. And the top is done. As far as shaping and stuff goes, we're going to put a really quick finish on it now. For those of you who don't know, when you put a wax finish on or a lacquer finish, you really have to have a sanding sealer on to seal up the pores, or it just kind of sucks everything up on you. So I just use this in a can, and I just do that's all there is to it. And then I'll take it up to help dry it. And the reason I use the spray is it's pretty quick. And if you're in a humid environment where you're having some problems with it setting up, use a heat gun. I just got a $12 one from Harbor Freight, and it does a pretty good job. I'll take it back down to 500. I'm just using green Scotch-Brite just to get the nibs off. That really makes the chatoyance come out.
It's coming along nicely.
Yeah. I've done 2 of these now. This is my 3rd. There's no more nerves.
There you go, right? Almost muscle memory.
Yeah. Although I've probably done 50 demonstrations now for different clubs and stuff. Okay, take it down to 250. Almost. Okay. Drop it back down to 500 and denib it. Okay. So the next step was we're going to use abrasive polish. I use my favorite brand is Axe Wood Paste. I love the stuff. I like Tom and Annette. They're great people. He makes a very good product at a very good price. And we're at 500. So I'm going to use the same rag, and I'm just going to hold it on here until I feel the roughness go away. That means the grit is wearing down and it's smoothing everything out.
Are you using a cotton rag or a napkin?
This is actually a Kroger towel, paper towel.
Kroger towel. Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
The stuff that rips off in half sheets. And I'm pushing just hard enough to get some warmth. She's starting to feel smooth. So I'm going to go to the other side, and I'm going to go up to 750 now. Pushing about the same. And she's getting a little hot. But we'll get rid of this one. And finally, 1000. This is where it's going to get really warm. But you should see nothing come off on your paper towel at this point. Yeah. Look at that, Chatoyans. So we're going to flip it around and do the other side. And then for all intents and purposes, we'll be done with this part. Once again, back to 500. And I'm holding it in there tight to get it to warm up. And I'm just going to buff it until I feel the grittiness go away. Take it up to 750. And then lastly, 1000. And again, look at that, Chatoyans. And then the final step on this part is going to be the Axe polishing and restoration paste. This is a combination of beeswax, mineral oil, and carnauba wax. So it's real hard. And then I'm just simply going to run it through the 3 speeds again. Letting the towel get hot. Not so hot that it burns, but just enough. And that's going to basically melt everything into the wood and adhere it to the surface. That's 500. Oh, 700. And I'm pressing enough so even though the paper towel is folded numerous times, I can feel the heat coming through. And then the final time, 1,000. So that's got a really hard shell wax case on it now. Oh, look at that. Wow. I see a little touch of curly in that.
Yeah, it's looking good, Jeff.
Yeah. Thank you. So we're going to do this final step on this side. $750.
Getting a nice sheen.
It is. It's coming out nicely. That's what I like about this wood paste system of Tom's. He's put a lot of time in, really developed a great formula. He's also got a newer kit now that includes a tung oil and wax paste in it. I have not used that yet. So this is like almost burning my fingers, but not quite there. And that's the final step of polishing the disc. There. This is the bottom. This is the stuff I'm liking right here. Some of this stuff in here, up in here. There's the top. So that came out real nice. I'm going to set this off to the side, and we're going to start on to the bottom half.
Jeff, what kind of lathe you working on?
This is a Nova DVR XP, their very first DVR.
Okay.
It was built in 2013, and it's still going strong. The person who owned it before me was trying to do some coring on it and burned out the motherboard in it. And they didn't have any motherboards in stock. That was about 2015. They didn't have any motherboards in stock, so they sent them a Saturn, which was their new model, the motherboard for that and the control panel. So I got a lot more control over what I'm doing now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh. It's that.
So what kind of wood? So what kind of wood we got here?
This is black walnut with some sapwood in it. good as she gets. I got to take her down a little bit anyways, so. It's just. Yeah, I'm going to take this down about quarter to 3/8 of an inch.
Are you going to use the whole piece?
Beg your pardon?
Are you going to use the whole section?
No,
of,
I won't. I'm actually going to use about 4 inches of it.
Oh, okay, got it.
Boy, when you get that sapwood coming by, it's like a strobing effect. I don't know if that comes off in the camera or not.
Yeah,
Yes.
kind of.
Yeah. Yep, that's about where I want it. And then we're going to mark it off at 4 inches. And the reason we're doing that is we're going to be coming down about 3/8 of an inch to a 1/2 inch to put a tenon on it, so it'll fit up inside the disc. And with that, I'll give it a 3/8 of an inch. That just kind of gives me my idea of my stop point. Oops. I got a bug hole in here. Right there. So what I want to do is I want to get my calipers set to 2 inches, which they already are. And we're going to start turning this down at a taper so it tapers in a little bit like this. With this point here, stopping at 2 inches.
Hey, Jeff,
Yes.
can you adjust your camera just a little bit towards your
Oh,
tailstock side?
yes. Thank you.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. I got to very quickly put an edge on my gouge.
Yeah, definitely. Go for it.
What's the piece he's got on there now? What kind of wood?
Piece of walnut, black walnut, with a lot of sapwood in it.
Yeah, pretty.
Black walnut and cherry are my two favorite woods to work with. Yeah, I didn't think that was anywhere near it yet. Let's see here. Okay. Almost. Perfect. I am just going to cut in here my markers. Around edge on here. So we are at a point now, before I move on to the next step, I want to cut a tenon here. that will fit in to my 1.5-inch hole. I'm going to start out with my bidan and just kind of, we'll be going back and forth a lot, eyeballing it. Yeah, that's nowhere near it. This is where it's really tricky because one little slip and it's too small. Don't ask me how I know that.
Tried and true practice, right?
Yeah. We are just about there. There we go. Oh man, I nailed it. Yep, and you can see by putting that flat bottom on there, I have no gap. So now what we got to do is we have to make sure that the glass piece that goes in, oh boy, we have to move the camera again. Hold on. And of course, I'm aiming it the wrong way. A lot of stuff in my way here. There we go. So we have to make sure that the piece is flush. The top of this is flush with the top of this. It's going down about 1/16 of an inch, so I don't have to put much more of a tenon on. Let's see. I'm going to go just a hair more, and it should be fine then. And I think what I'm going to do with this, so I'm going to take a piece of 150 grit and sand it. Nope, I don't want to do that. Got ahead of myself. I'll take that piece of sandpaper. Just hold it there, just to flatten that a little bit. There. One more final touch. Yep. So I've got a little tiny lip right in the corner here, and that's stopping the disc from setting flat. So I'm going to go inward just a little bit without touching the tenon and see what that does. Almost. So as you go along doing this, sometimes there's fine tuning along the way. Okay. So we've got that. And I like the way that sets in there. So now we're going to run this through its sanding process. Starting with 60. Oh, that's still pretty rough. I think I'm going to put an edge on this negative rake real quick. I have got some tear out right in this area here. So I'm going to take a negative rake scraper to it and see if I can get that to be a little bit better. think we got some grain pulling away. Almost. Yeah, we got a little bit of grain pulling away there. Let's see what we can do about that. I am going to try something here. Oh, that looks a little better.
It's getting there, isn't it?
Yeah, slowly but surely. Sometimes you get into that sapwood and it doesn't like to be cooperative. And it looks like we had maybe some very minor ring shake here. Something that wasn't even that much noticeable. There we go. See how we do with the sandpaper now. I think what I'll do is I'm going to drop the speed down to 250. So spend some more time on it. Oh yeah, much better. Much better. Yeah. Okay. I've slowed my speed down to 250 for the sanding. That's really made a difference in this sap area. This is 240. Okay, looking nice. 240. 320. Oh, beautiful. Now, one thing I do with walnut is walnut sometimes in this grain here, it can be kind of an open grain, and sometimes the dust and stuff will settle into there and impact into it. So I like to just do this. Then one thing I'm going to do here that I didn't do with the disc is I'm going to take some denatured alcohol to it. Oh, that feels real good. And you can see why I take the denatured alcohol to it. It's pulling a lot of that dust and stuff out of the grain. We'll speed that up and let that dry a little bit. And since we always talk about safety, this is denatured alcohol. So this is going to lay out flat on my cement floor for the next 24 hours.
It'll be dry in an hour.
Yeah, I leave it set for 24. That way you're 100% safe. You don't want to throw that wadded up into your trash can because you will have a fire. It's not a matter of if, but when.
Right. Glass jars with a lid, pickle jars.
Yep. Okay.
It's looking good, Jeff. Looking good.
Thank you. We're getting down there too. So I'm going to do the, there we go, shellac sanding sealer. Just very lightly. Down to 500. Taking the nibs off. Okay. And then once again, the Axe abrasive paste. You don't want to get any wax or anything on this tab because you're going to be gluing that in. And if you get wax on it, the glue will not take. So we're going to start buffing now at 500, just like we did on the disc. And here you can actually see lines here of the paste that's still on there that's not thinned out yet, which is why we're pressing hard. So when you're doing a spindle piece, you see that a little bit more, and I'm kind of watching for that to go away. I got a little heat going on my fingers. Let's stop here for a minute. Okay.
How fast are you going?
500. Now we're going up to 750. And you shouldn't see those lines anymore. What's happening now is the shine is starting to show through. I'm not feeling enough heat on my fingers yet. Oh, there it is. Another sheet. Take it up to 1,000. Holding it firm to build up that heat. So I just want to make sure that wasn't fresh stuff that came off. Nope, wasn't. Good. Okay. Wood paste portion is done. Let's take a look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it looks great.
How can a person not love wood?
Amen.
So now we're going to do polishing and restoring paste. And then we're just going to run through the 3 speeds real quick again, starting with 500 with a firm press so it builds up some heat to melt that in. And I'm looking at the camera and I can actually see the shine really setting now. Got a good heat built up on my fingers. Flip this around, go to 750. And then finally, 1,000. This is where it gets really hot now. Oh, yeah. And there it is. Oh, I love walnut. Oh. Turns me Tim Allen every time.
Yeah, right. Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
then.
walnut never disappoints.
What's that?
I said, yeah, walnut never disappoints.
No, it doesn't. It does not. And I kind of feel that way with cherry too. Cherry always seems to have a kind of a surprise every time I turn it. So I'm going back down to 500, and I'm going to use my bidan to start parting this off. Actually, for what I've got to do, I'm going to go up to 750. I'm going back and forth with this. So I'm creating a little bit of a what do you want to call it, concave, set in, even though I'm going to be going in there and doing some work on it. And I'm only going to take this down so far. I think I can get a little bit more speed on this. I'm only going to take it down so far, then I'll saw it off when I get down to that final portion. You got that? Now I'm going to go to my Benjamin Best parting tool. This little bugger is a cool little parting tool. It holds its edge. It came in the pen kit, pen turning kit. I'm just going straight in just a little bit, and then I'm going to come in at an angle, give me a little bit more of that concave. And we're at a point where we can saw.
No sense in taking a chance.
Nope.
It's not required.
I had a beautiful box I was making one time, one of my first boxes, and I took it too far and it went flying and busted into a million pieces. I was not a happy camper.
I bet.
So
you were saying words in the dictionary that weren't there.
Oh no, I invented a few. Some people like to lock their spindle when they do this. I don't like to do that for the simple reason this is a very fine tooth saw. So I'm going to get it in there. I'm going to kind of hold it up against the foot, and I'm going to saw, holding onto the chuck, and then I'm going to turn it just a little bit. That seems to help speed it up, or at least in my mind makes me feel like I'm speeding it up. Yeah, we're just about through. There it is. There's the bottom.
There we go. Look at that.
So what we want to do now is just clean that bottom up. And to do that, I'll get rid of this one and bring back my pin jaws. Get that into there just like that. Get rid of this. Going with the tool rest I generally use for pen making. So I think I'm going to use my 3/8 inch spindle gouge. I'm going to get this live edge out of the way before I put a hole in my elbow. Don't ask me how I know that.
Okay, I won't.
And now I'm going very light, gentle cuts. I'm not putting really any pressure onto it. You can also go this way. I better make sure that's seated in there properly. And I think I will put that tailstock back on just for a little bit.
Yeah, good call putting the tailstock on.
Yeah, yeah. Need a little bit more of an acute angle. So I will grab it. I have to wipe out the inside of my mask. There we go. Okay, come on. Give me a hard time. That's good. Little fix to do there, but back to 60 grit sandpaper. I'm just going to hold it here for a little bit just to help get that little bump off there. That's good. Oh, beautiful. 120. $40, and then the final grit, $320. And I'm not going to put a finish on it tonight on the bottom because I'm going to do some more work on that. Because I think the way this is coming out, I'm going to finish it up and put it in my show in August, along with the other one. But essentially, the Chatoyans. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah.
So if you want to switch up to my pad,
Okay. We got you.
okay. There it is. There it is sitting down on top. Light is horrible here. Great.
Looks good.
Very nice.
Really nice.
And we'll drop in the one we already had.
Very nice.
And you have a confetti lamp inspired by Mars Attacks.
Hey Jeff, that was very enjoyable tonight.
Thank
Cool
you.
demo, Jeff.
It was
Thank you.
very
Yeah, that's
enjoyable.
slick.
And here's where the
Slick
inspiration
project.
from Mars Attacks. There was a scene where all the flying saucers are hovering over the Rocky Mountains. And there was one setting forward of the Rocky Mountains. Let's see if I get this right. And the way he was setting made it look like he was setting right on top of the Rocky Mountains. And I looked at them and said, that's a cool shape. I'm turning it.
Yeah.
Very
I tried to
good.
do it with one piece and it didn't really come out right. Then I got to thinking I can mix and match wood textures and stuff and colors. And that's how I come
Right.
up with that. When I did that, I said, I could put a lamp in that because I was making tea lights at the time. And that's how I came up with the whole thing. So,
Nice.
And so,
That's
so,
it.
so that,
Right down
and
there.
so that's called a confetti lamp.
A confetti lamp. Yes, the little
I've
oil
never
lamps
heard
that you see in restaurants
never
and
heard
stuff.
of never
Yeah.
heard of one till tonight.
The longest time you could only get them from craft supplies, but now the wood turning store in New York has them, which is
Okay.
where I got these. You can get his on Amazon. It's
Okay,
they're called
Todd
Legacy.
Range.
Yep, Todd.
Okay.
Oh no, not Todd. Steve Fruguli.
Oh, okay. The other turning place
Yeah.
up there. Okay.
Yeah, Steve's a great guy. He's where I got my hurricane chucks from and stuff like that, and my tools. So, any questions?
No, I think you covered everything. There weren't any questions during the chat, but floor is open, folks. If you have a question for Jeff on what he was doing, technique, woods, whatever, floor is open.
Actually, Jeff, I could tell that you've been demonstrating for quite a while.
Yeah, like I said, I've done about
you
500 demos.
You explained just about everything you were about to do and what not to do. It was very enjoyable. Thanks.
Thank you.
for
I think
sharing.
that's very important. I've been to demonstrations that I've paid good money to go to, and the people just turn and don't explain anything. They just say, do this.
Right.
And I'm not learning anything then. So that was always my thing, was I was going to explain every step of the way. And you always know new turners in the audience because they say, what speed are you turning at? And that's important to them. So you got to answer that question.
Right.
I've seen people out there, the big pro guys going, It doesn't matter what the speed is, whatever you're comfortable with. Well, when you're new, you want to know. It's as simple as that. So,
very cool.
Anything else?
No, I guess that's it, unless anybody else has anything.
Great job, Jeff.
Great demo,
Thank
Jeff.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much. It was my pleasure. I had a blast. I'm
Great
looking
demo,
forward to
Jeff.
level up.
Thank
Looking forward to
you for
level up.
sharing. Thank you for sharing.
So on
That was
behalf of the
great.
club and especially myself, I really appreciate you doing this, Jeff. I appreciate all the demonstrators and anybody and everybody can be a demonstrator here on Worldwide. We'll make you a superstar and put you into perpetuity on the YouTube channel. So
yeah. And believe me, if you tell your friends you're doing a demo for the Worldwide Woodturners, that carries some weight. It's sort of like when I had the brain surgery. I tell people I had brain surgery, and they go, "What?"
Right?
It's like a miracle. So, yeah, we carry some prestige out there, including outside of the wood turning community. So,
yes.
That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
I met people on my cruise ship in
That's great
Alaska
to hear.
that knew about the Worldwide Woodturners.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, see,
So,
we're doing something right. How about that?
We're doing something right, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
gotta like that.
okay.
It's good feedback.
What I'm going to do then is I'm going to shut down my tablet and stuff here. Then I'm going to go up and log in on the computer because it's very dusty down
yeah,
here.
I'll let you back in. Get yourself pour yourself
Okay.
3 fingers.
Okay. Yeah, everything was fine. So, okay, I'll see you in 5 minutes.
All right, sounds good. So I want to go to Ray Davis next. Ray, can you turn your camera on?
Yeah,
I know you got some,
sure.
and then I've got Chief Morgan up on cue.
Yeah, that was a great demo. I appreciated that. Well, I had to do a little something different tonight. In my club, we are doing wigs for the cancer victims, and now we're doing approximately. Well, their challenge is for everybody to do a beads of courage for the kids with cancer. So I did my bowl.
Oh, look at that.
Sweet, very pretty.
Sweet. Yes.
Look at the symmetry on that.
Wow.
Stacked
Yeah.
stairs.
Wow, beautiful.
That's nice.
Look at the
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their stuff's nice.
Beautiful.
Right.
Staircase.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I can get
Great job, Ray.
Got a shine there, but I think
you got to shine. Yeah, we like that shine. A lot of us do.
Yeah, there's about 10 coats of the polyacrylic water base on that. And then I sand that down with 400 grit every 4, maybe 5 coats. And the last is with the Axe abrasive paste and the refinishing wax. And the top is maple and canary wood. You can see the beads of courage.
Yeah.
If I get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And done that. And just for a little extra, I put
one more.
Very nice.
And a date on that.
And great job, Ray.
Hey, thank you.
Job.
Great.
I hope the kids like that.
Oh, they're gonna love it. Yeah.
They definitely will.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well done.
Fantastic.
And the inside is just the finish is about the same as the outside.
Right.
And
beautiful piece.
That's all cherry with maple, and knob is walnut.
Really sweet.
Very cool.
That's all I got, guys. Thank you. Very good evening.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad you hung in there so we could see that piece.
Hey, Dana, I'm not as hot as you, but it's warm here too.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. Yep. You got fires going on down there?
Yeah, we do. We got 2 or 3 going on right now. It's a little smoky around Albuquerque.
Yeah. Yeah, my son-in-law, he's heading out to Silver City. Well, he went out there on Monday for fire cleanup.
Yeah, there is
He'll
a
be out
fire in
there
Silver
4 weeks.
City and
Yeah,
Ruidoso, I believe there's one there. And
yeah, there's
yeah,
several.
it's hot and dry.
Yeah, that it is. All right.
Thank
you,
you.
sir. All right, let's go to Chief Morgan. Hey, Dennis.
How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Great demo tonight.
Was.
I turned this maple bowl last couple weeks ago. You can see it.
Nice.
Getting better at it. And then turned an oak platter. This was turned green. And then I dried it in the microwave. And
Get a grain on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was out of a crotch, but it had a big check in it, so I had to cut it back. I got another one that's deeper. I haven't sanded it yet. So I turned this today and tonight. It's a little like a little pop bowl, if you will. It's out of walnut. It's not finished yet. And
Really nice.
put handles on it. Saw it in a magazine. I thought it was kind of cool. So
yeah,
very
good. I like it.
Got to finish it out. So that's what
Make
I've been
a good
up to.
demo. That'd make a good demo, Dennis.
This was the first one, so I got to go ahead and practice up on it. It's a little hairy with the wings flying around, but
right.
I'll get there. Someday I'll do a demo. I don't know when, but I'll get there. So.
Oh, I know.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Just badgering you. Good to see you in tonight. Great stuff.
Yep. Have a good night.
All right, let's
You too.
go to Mr. Grinstad. All right, Bob, we got you.
All right. Hey, guys.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah, I've started the Christmas stuff. So here's my inside out turning. Let's see if I can turn a light. But it has a little candle in it. I don't even know if you can see it. Yeah, it's on. You just can't hardly see it. It's too much light in here right now, I guess. But these are fairly easy to do. They're just this little lantern looking thing. What I like it a little bigger. This one here, that one is about 1.5 inches stock, 1.5 inches by 11 inches, and then you glue them together, the 4 pieces, and glue everything together. But this is the sides that are really pretty. Those are probably a little big for everybody, but this one gives you more room to put stuff in the bottom. You can put birds and different things in it. But again, it's the same type scenario. You have a little cavity there to put the light in.
Nice.
But that's my Christmas presents I've started.
Great.
Nice, Bob.
Bob, how many of those are you going to make?
I don't know. I hadn't decided yet. It's going to be at least 8, but it might be more.
Are you going to make a jig of any kind?
No, I just have a little story stick that
okay.
shows me the dimensions. Coming up the side of this thing. Where the tree starts, where it stops, where this lip is. From here to here. And then you can measure that distance out. I like the bulb to stick down just a little bit. I don't want to be able to see the bulb so much, but barely come down inside this tip here, and then your little light, and then you gotta have enough here for a tenon that this thing sits down in. A little mortise there.
Hey,
but
Bob.
If you make a little story stick, that makes it real easy and quick to where they all come out about the same. The tops and the bottoms are always different,
Hey, Bob.
Really pretty.
Could I twist your arm to record your next one that you do like that?
Yeah, I can probably record it, sure.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. That's a real pretty
on the
inside
third
out turn.
where you said you used 1.5 inch stock.
Yeah.
So you weren't starting with a 3-inch square. You were doing just 1.5 stock.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what this one is. This ends up being 3 inches because it's 1.5.
But
4 pieces, 1.5 inch square.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you can see it. You can see the
Yeah,
the
you can
bottom
see
here
it.
somewhere.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
You've got 4 pieces in there, and
Yeah, I've always admired when you did them last year as well.
yeah, but these are easy to do. You just got to realize how to do an inside out turning. The easiest thing here, let me pull up a piece of paper here. The easiest thing is to, if I can pull it this way. If you put this on the flat side, as you're turning, the one on the bottom would be the outside of the actual round piece that I'm turning. I got 4 of them tied together, but if you put a piece of paper on the flat side, and then you can look at it and say, okay, well, there's half my tree.
Gotcha.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, I'll see if I can't make a video of that.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be great, Bob. I'd appreciate that.
Sure.
Thanks,
Sweet.
Bob.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Let's go to Mr. Miller.
I'm here.
I got you, Doug.
All right. I tell you what, I was out of the shop for like 3 weeks, other than fixing the little ambrosia maple bowl, and that wasn't much in the way of turning. Took me about 30 minutes to do that. But anyway, got in the shop yesterday and was able to do something. I'm doing a series of turnings with quote unquote scraps. So I got in my scrap bucket and I found a little burl. And there you go. Now you can see it on that top
Oh,
side.
yeah.
Wow. It's definitely got some burl figure in it. Just a nice little hollow form. I forget what it measured out now. What is about 5 inches maybe? Right at 5 inches. But anyway, cut. I cut it. I've got just a little bit more, and I think I'm going to do a lid and finial for this. I think I've got a piece of blackwood somewhere, so I can do about a 3-inch finial, and I'm debating on what to do the lid with. Maybe something light like some maple, would give some good contrast. But this wood's got a little bit of red in it. Shows up redder on the camera than it does in person. It's very brown. But anyway, that's got about 4 coats of lacquer on it. It'll probably get 4 more with some sanding in between. Get a good high polish on it, and then that lid and finial, and it ought to be about right. So looking forward to getting that done.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Hey, Doug, you could always make the finial out of some Kentucky ebony.
Yeah. If y'all haven't been reading the chat as we went along, go read it. It got kind of funny there for a minute. So anyway, I'm probably going to go pick up some Kentucky ebony first part of next week. So
sounds good.
Yeah, it's free, so why not?
Yeah, why not, right? Right.
All right, thanks, guys.
Right, that'll work. All right, thank you, sir. All right, let's go to Mr. Roger.
Okay. I was planning around a little bit this week. So I made a little box. Nice tight lid with a heart inlay.
Oh, that's neat.
Oh, neat. So when I first started doing segmented, this is one of the first segment pieces that I did, and this was just a scrap left over from it. There's a little bit of mistake in it, so I didn't use it in the original piece. So, but I thought it would be fine for this. So I thought I'd start building some. So here's a heart that I made today.
Very nice.
But it's a little longer through here than what this one is. So I'll probably make some more of these and make a vase with it in it or something like that. So
Yeah, it's slick.
Nice. Yeah.
That's very nice.
How'd you cut your heart out, Roger? Bandsaw?
no,
Very carefully.
that's 3 pieces of wood. There's a round piece here, a round one there, and a
Okay.
triangle here.
Oh, wow.
Got it. Okay. Yep.
You
All
see the
right.
seam there,
Yes.
then the seam down here. This seam didn't come out right. I screwed up.
Interesting.
Thinking I take pictures of this as I build it so you can see how it's done.
Well, that'd be nice.
Now,
Dane's
how deep
wanting-
does the heart go?
What's that?
How deep does the heart go? All the way through?
It's almost as thick.
Got it. That's cool.
Yeah, it is. Can I see that box again? Yep. And then show the heart. Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Really
Great
nice.
job, Roger.
See, you can use segmented pieces and other things too.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
That's good.
Right. That's good. What else you got?
That's it for now.
That's it for now. All right. Well, thank you very much. Let's
Nice.
see. Is Chris still on? We'll finish up here with Chris. Get to close the show, buddy.
So, well, it's been so long I can't remember what I was showing. Oh, so while I was waiting, we talked about wood warping. That's a beech bowl that is turned green. It's about 10 inches this way and about 9 inches that way. But anyway, it's now cracked, so it's going to be cut in half, made into firewood or stitched back together. But what I was going to show was this little cherry bowl that I made the other day.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Put on it.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
The neat thing about it, and I'm not really happy with the shape, to tell you the truth, because I think this is too big, but it came from a piece of wood that I was told was hickory that I found outside of a cemetery, and I was talking to the caretaker, and it was all completely rotted. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't hickory, it's cherry. And
yeah,
the inside is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. Well done.
Cool.
That's really all I got.
All right. Well, thank you.
That's all, folks.
Yeah.
All right. Very fitting. All right. Let's go to Sandy.
Well, hello, everybody.
Sandy.
And I'm glad you called on me because my battery in my iPad's almost dead. It keeps dinging. Anyway, a couple of things. Making for my grandsons. I have 2 grandsons. One is infatuated with diving. It's like he's possessed with it. So for his birthday, which is coming up, I made a bowl, a lidded bowl, and then we lasered it around with diving people. And the coolest thing about it, we were able to adapt the small helmet to become the lid for the bowl.
That is cool.
Oh,
Nice.
I love
I
Yeah.
love that.
So now he can keep it in his room. He likes a place to put his watch and things like that. And at night, put a lid on it because he says the cats get into it. And I don't know. Anyway, so this is for the oldest. He's 12 next month.
Cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it turned out real nice. And we wrote him a nice little note on the back about how old he is and being a diver and being
Right.
certified and being
Nice.
really pretty good at it. So that was
Good for him.
Nice
God
job,
bless
Sandy.
him.
Great gift, yeah.
yeah.
Very cool.
Hopefully. Anyway, the youngest one is 9 and he loves baseball, plays on 2 teams. He's on Pee Wee and then a select team. So his birthday is not for a couple of months, but I can't do one without the other. So I went ahead and made them at the same time. We did the same kind of thing with only we put baseball things around it. And we even put his number on the back of his jersey here. I don't know if you could see it. This jersey is here. Where'd it go? I lost it. There it is. And he's number 11 on this team.
Number
So
11.
yeah. So anyway, on his other team, he's number 3. So we like this team the best, so we left Cason's there. And then again, we went online and were able to find a drawer pull that we could adapt and make the baseball to handle for him.
Very cool.
Very nice.
Yeah. So
Really nice, Sandy.
maple and tropical walnut for his lid. So they both got the same.
Nice.
That's what I got. Well, I have more, but that's all I'm going to show tonight because I'm going to go black in a minute.
Thank you, Sandy. All right, let's go back to Michigan and we'll close it up with Ray.
All right. Well, I kind of went on a turning bender since I've been out of work. And then I unknowingly made some Kentucky ebony. So this is that bowl that I posted on Facebook that was all sapwood except for the very middle heartwood down here. And that's what it came out, the sapwood being ebonized with iron acetate.
Got it.
There you go.
And then it's just a real rustic natural edge. And then
good job, Ray.
I think this piece started its ebonizing off, and that's why I finished it off ebonizing. But this is ebonized white oak. And it was kind of cool because right here you can see the sapwood didn't take the ebonizing quite as much as the heartwood.
Yeah.
But I ebonized it because, well, Dane had been bugging me to do it. He kept suggesting it a while back, but it had a stain from a nail in it. And I was hoping it would turn away on the inside because I hit the nail with my chainsaw, but it didn't actually go away. So there's that one.
Good, Ray.
Sorry, guys. I got to, like I said, I went on a bender. Here's that cherry bowl.
Oh, very nice.
That's
nice.
I actually should have cut this blank in half because it had a split in it. And I was just being stubborn. So I had to do the Starbond CA, which I found it bleeds into the cherry way worse than it does in any of the other woods I've turned it with and used it to fill cracks. It kind of bled out. And then I've wanted a cutting board for a while. So I did one out of oak, white oak. It's quarter sawn. I don't know if y'all can see the flecking in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
but
can.
I need the opinions of the group. It's got a split all the way through it that I did black CA. How do you think that'll hold up as a cutting board? Or should I just keep it as a platter?
CA typically isn't waterproof. It'll eventually
it'll chip out.
Yeah,
chip out on its own.
and degrade.
So it'd be better off kind of just more of a decorative serving piece.
Add some butterflies to it.
Right.
Yeah,
I was just
but you gotta
saying,
understand that even though that's quarter cut, you would never use it as a cutting board. You would use it as a charcuterie board. And what you want to fill that crack with is Type Bond 3.
Type Bond 3 is waterproof.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
But I would use it as a charcuterie board or
Charcuterie.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
or Ray, you could take your multi tool and carve out that crack where the CA is at and fill it with resin.
Okay, like a 2-part epoxy or
right? Yeah.
Okay. And then sorry for taking up so much time, but like I said, I went on a bender.
Hey, no worries.
We're enjoying it.
I'm here. I'm here all night. Yeah.
I watched an English dude. Oh man, I can't remember his name. I wish I need to rewatch the video so I could give him credit when I post this on Facebook or whatever. Hanbury maybe, but he showed how to use the Joe Sanja pearlescent paint.
Nice.
I saw that. It's Mick Hanbury you're talking about.
Mick Hanbury, okay.
Mick with an M. His name is Mick
okay.
Hanbury. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, so I kind of, I give him the full credit. I even down to the wood. It's what I had available, which was sycamore. So
nice. That's pretty.
So I did that one. Cool. I did that one to appease to the local school kids and the adults because blue and yellow.
Right.
And then
That's really pretty.
Uh-huh. We won't hold that against you.
Oh, cool.
That one too.
Yeah, that's pretty. You
Very
had
Yeah,
to do one for
I'm by
Michigan.
no
You had to
means a
do one for
Michigan.
Michigan State. You had to do one for
Yeah.
Michigan State there, didn't you?
Well, I figured, if I threw out the Michigan colors, it'd sell at the craft show this weekend.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
And
boy.
then some cedar spatulas from the quarter sawn boards that I had.
Very cool.
And then the bowl that it came from.
Wow, pretty.
Very nice.
Very nice. Yeah.
And I was
Is that the
happy
one you
that this thing did not crack on me.
Is that the one you oiled?
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it though, because it's still in the drying process. I've had it tucked away in a cardboard box.
Put more oil on it, more coats.
Yep. It's gotten 3 so far and it keeps drying out, man. This thing's thirsty.
Yep.
Yep.
Cedar does that. It'll drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the spatulas are doing the same thing. They've had 3 coats and they look dry.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, it's a sponge.
Okay.
It's a sponge.
That's
Just make
good
sure
to
that
know.
just make sure each coat is dry before you put
Yes.
the next one on.
Right. I got you. So you don't build up like a gummy mix.
Right.
Right. Yep.
Okay. And then, why not? I'm here. I turned a spatula holder.
There you go.
There you go.
That's amazing. That's great.
Yeah.
Utensil
This
pot.
thing was kind of a pain. I realized that I don't have a scraper for going down deep. I got most of it with a bowl gouge because this is cross grain and quarter sawn. When I started first turning, I went crazy with my chainsaw and made all kinds of weird stuff. So I actually had 6-inch thick quarter sawn maple.
Nice.
But yeah, it's kind of a cool piece. But I need a really big, heavy duty box scraper. I found out
Mhm.
because my little one doesn't really want to go down deep that far.
No.
So, but yeah, like I said, I went on a turn and bender. I don't know what I'm going to do when I go back to work.
You're gonna miss it.
Right.
Beautiful work, Ray.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Great job, buddy.
Good job, Ray.
All right. Yep. Doug had a question.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, that can be. Oh goodness. Let
Oh,
me
shit, you're frozen.
let me unfreeze that picture for us.
You were mean mugging us.
Come on. There we go.
There you
All
go.
right. Oh mercy.
Got that eyeball effect going on.
This can be after hours for that matter. But it's just a simple question. A while back, I watched a couple of folks on YouTube. They were talking about, like most of us, they had a straight tube coming up with their vacuum system to collect their dust and whatnot. I've noticed here recently, even though I've got the big dust vac now, and it does a whole lot better than a shop vac does, but I'm still getting a lot of the light dust falling straight down. Have any of you tried putting a cone, a vortex, they call them all kinds of things, on the end of your pipe, trying to get better suction on the end of your dust collection?
What size is your pipe? Right now?
4-inch.
If you were to decrease that size, you would have more suction.
I'm sorry, say that again. I'm getting an echo.
Yeah, somebody's got it.
There are numerous options out there, Doug.
Yeah.
What, Doug? Why don't you put a Y in the end of your pipe? Put one that comes out underneath the lathe and one that comes in behind at the back. Because I'm going to make. I seen on Instagram somebody had made a chute that fit up underneath their bedways.
Mm-hmm.
It was pitched to a 4-inch collector.
Right.
And they just sucked all their wood shavings, all the dust and everything went into that bottom one, and then they had the top one that was adjustable so they could swing it around, move it up and down the bedways as you needed. I thought that was a great idea because now you're sucking. You can sweep your bedways off and suck it right in the bottom.
Right.
That's a really good idea.
That would be one great option. Like I said, Mike Peace was one that comes to mind. He was talking about it. In fact, he turned a piece just like a trumpet, the end of a trumpet, to fit on his 4-inch intake. He had the same thing I've got. It's that old dust collector thing that you bought from Woodcraft about 15 years ago. It's supposed to have a big cast metal thing that I never found worked at all. But like I said, I'm getting a lot more than I did when I was using shop vac, but I'm still getting dust for some reason. It's falling straight down. I don't understand that.
Doug, this
Yeah,
is Dean. I've
Yeah.
used what you're talking about. They call them big gulp or big funnel, big black deal.
Right.
And I can tell you, as the further away from that hose you move, the less air you're drawing with any given vacuum. Okay.
Right.
The bigger the hose and the closer it is, the more you're going to collect. As you reduce the hose down and you move back, the less you're going to collect. And you know, there's a ton of different things that I've seen people do, but unless you can get that hose pretty close, you're just going to collect some of the dust.
Yeah. I can right now, like I said, I can get this end. Usually I can get it within 2 or 3 inches of my wood that's spinning, and dust is falling on below it. I just don't get it. You would
See
think
if,
talking
if
about
you
this much
move
air.
it, see if you can
Yes,
move it
sanding
down
dust.
below where the dust is coming. So in other words, if you're sanding on the side, you can kind of see where the dust is going.
I can
move it just a little bit below that,
Yeah.
and you'll tend to pick up more of it.
Okay, I can show you what I'm got. Right there is what I got. And usually if I was sanding this particular piece, I'd bring this right up to there, which is 1.5 inches
Okay,
away.
you've got the same thing I've got, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do when I get my lathe back up and going.
Okay.
I'm going to go down to Home Depot or Lowe's and pick up one of the aluminum dryer pipes.
Okay.
You know, they're not the plastic or the real flexible, the ones that you have to move and actually bend to get to the position. I'm going to put it on the front of that thing so I can get it closer.
Mm-hmm.
And I can flex that pipe to exactly where I want it to be.
Yeah.
Because I've got the same stand you've got.
Right. Yeah, I
Do
can
you
actually
not
get
have
this
that
closer if I
jumbo
move
scoop?
on. I
Do you not
do,
have
but
the jumbo scoop that went with that stand anymore?
I did. I don't know if I still do or not. I'd have to hunt through the stuff. But I
No.
might try that just to see, with the bigger collector, if maybe it'll do more work now.
Because what I do with mine is I'll put mine, I've got that jumbo scoop on the end of it, and I'll have it resting on top of my bedways and have it kind of encompassing the piece. So even if I'm sanding from like off at a weird angle where the dust is going up, it pulls it back down into that big jumbo scoop.
Gotcha. Well, I was wondering if anybody had tried making the trumpet thing, and if they found that it worked or not. If it doesn't work, there's no point in trying it.
Were you talking about putting fins on the inside like a vortex? Like
No, I'm talking about
okay.
turning like the end of a trumpet bell that would fit on the end of this big 4-inch thing. It would just take it from a 4-inch and just widen it out.
Yeah.
Doug, why don't you go to Home Depot and get a register vent that's rectangular.
Right.
It has a 4-inch pipe inlet in the back, and that would do the same thing, and it gives you a better option to twist it upward so that you're drawing. Your pipe is drawing. You got it too down tilted. You need to tilt that pipe upwards.
Right.
So that it's pointing at the ceiling and sucking down instead of straight at your piece. You need to tilt that pipe more upwards. Even the one you got now, if you tilted it more vertical, it would draw better.
Doug.
Okay.
The other thing you could do is cut that pipe on a 45.
Yep.
So that the bottom of the 45 is on the bottom. So it's when it would fall down and suck in I think I would try that first, because anytime you put a box or anything around it, you lose the suction, just like the other gentleman was saying. If you can put that hose right up close, but I would try cutting it on a 45 so that the bottom of the 45 is underneath and so it falls down into it. Just try it.
That's a good idea, Dennis. Get a piece of PVC pipe, sewer
Yeah.
pipe that'll
Yeah.
fit in that
Yeah.
hose, in that connection.
Yep.
And then cut it as a baloney cut so that it comes underneath your workpiece a little bit.
Great. You guys have given me several things to look at. Yeah. Yeah.
I do
Show
like
me
that idea.
Can you show me a picture of it one more time?
Yep. Unswitch back. Sure.
Okay. One problem I see that might be cutting back on your airflow is that hose.
It's
Those
going
type of
down.
hoses are famous for cutting back airflow big time because it's so flexible. It's like an accordion, and all that air gets trapped in there when it's trying to suck through because of the accordion shape. If you have a smooth pipe that attaches to that, it's going to be a lot better at drawing air and drawing in the dust.
I don't know how I could possibly do a smooth one though in this shop. I know what you're saying, but I don't know how I could do it here.
Hang it from your rafters and come in from above. Run your dust collection system across your rafters in 4-inch PVC.
Yeah.
And then make drops at all your machines with a
Well,
blast.
this is the lathe is the only machine it runs to.
well, then you
How long is that flex hose, Doug?
If you go to like Woodcraft or Packard or something, well, Woodcraft would have it. Look at their vacuum system. They do have flexible pipe that doesn't have that accordion shape to it, and you can move it around and stuff. It's smooth on the inside.
Yeah, it's smooth on the inside.
That's what I would get. That's what I would get. That would probably clear up a lot of your problem right there.
That would definitely give me some more airflow for sure.
Oh yeah, I think that's a main problem you have is because that accordion shape is just really causing the airflow to drop big time.
I'll tell you guys now, it works tremendously well, a whole lot better than Shopsmith does. But I could not understand why I was still having dust on my bedways, even when I'm running the vac system, and it's only an inch or two away. It's just crazy.
It's that hose. You got to get one of the smooth. At least have it hose that's smooth on the inside.
Yeah,
because that's just like an air trap right there.
I may get the PVC and run it overhead, and then just have a short flex piece.
So if you take that hose right now and turned it upside down and shook it, there's so much dust trapped inside those accordion things. It's probably crazy how much dust is trapped in there.
I'm sure there's some. Yeah.
So
in fact, I can look down it and see it.
So Doug, when you buy that pipe, buy schedule 35 pipe, not schedule 40. You want sewer pipe.
Sewer pipe.
Yep.
The black.
The black stuff. Yeah.
Mine's green.
Yeah.
Patrick,
I think they sell it black
California for some reason.
Yeah. What were you saying, Patrick?
That type of hose creates a whole lot of turbulence inside.
Right.
And slows the airflow down.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The other thing I want to do is take the bag off the top of this collector and put a canister on there. So, and that'll help too. But I think the hose is a big part of it.
Good night, Jeff. Thank you.
That looks
curious.
like old dryer hose.
It's something similar. It is vacuum hose. But anyway, I just was curious. My original question was curiosity if was that trumpet bell, if that would actually help. I'm not hearing anybody say, that's the cat's meow or anything. So I'll go with the hose and we'll work that over.
So Doug, if you buy the schedule 35 pipe, you can go to Woodcraft and get your connections.
Yes.
That'll fit on the 35 schedule pipe.
Perfect. Yeah, I know what you're talking about there. Yeah.
And actually, it's actually cheaper than drain pipe that's in your house. Schedule 35 is a cheaper grade of pipe.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate your help.
Yeah, you bet. Have
Oh,
a
Doug, I
problem, we'll
like your
solve
work
it, right?
shirt.
What's that, Scott?
I like your work shirt.
That's it. I came straight in from work and I hadn't even stopped to do anything else.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Do
Yeah,
I-
so with that, we'll call that the end of the official meeting, and we'll call this the demarcation point for the after hours. So for those that want to pop off, you can pop off. Otherwise, you can